How do you explain to a Christian that you don't need the Bible or God to not commit sins and be a good person?
Well, if you're using the sin word, you're making a mistake.
Yeah, you're already.
Because sin is all about, pleasing God.
Right. Most things that are labeled as sins aren't even, it's like there's no reason to even think that they're wrong. You've got the big ones, right? That's the ones you always hear quoted. Oh, murder or theft. I would just go out and murder and rape if it weren't for God. And it's like, oh, I would break the Sabbath and eat shrimp. I'd be going wild.
Multiple types of fabric.
So most of the stuff that is condemned is not really that bad, or not bad at all. And then. But if you're asking, can you be good? Can you be good without God?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, but he's asking more, or she's asking more. This person is asking more. How would you explain that to a Christian?
Well, I think this is a kind of the Christian propaganda against atheists, right? That we must be evil, right, or we must want to sin, or whatever. And atheism is bad. And if atheists were good people, then there would be a whole, why not be an atheist question that they don't want to answer.
Yeah.
So it's pretty clearly a propaganda effort. You can point at a lot of folks who are atheists who have made positive contributions in the world. You can hold yourself up as an example. Those are some things you can do.
Right.
You can point at some hardcore Christians who allegedly are representative of Christianity. It's dangerous because it's easy to say, oh well, they were made a mistake or they were a sinner, and it's very easy to sort of in hindsight insist that person wasn't representative, right? It's kind of like the sharpshooter's fallacy of circling the hits after you take pot shots at the barn.
Yeah, drawing the target around the
right.
Exactly. And I was thinking, somebody asked recently, they were like, have you ever dealt much with the teleological argument, right? And I looked it up. It was like argument from design, basically. It's what it seemed like to me. And so what's funny to me about that argument has always been, you observe nature do a thing, and then your reaction is, nature can't do that. It's like watching Mike Jordan jump a half court and saying, Mike Jordan can't do that. Why would you say that? You just watched it, right? I mean,
right.
When you can see, you're sitting there observing it firsthand, and when it comes to natural processes, you're observing it over and over and over.
Right.
Or you're seeing something in the natural universe and saying, nature can't do this. And it's like, why are you asserting that something can't do what it apparently does? A lot of times you're seeing it do it, and you're saying it can't do it. And it's funny to me that I just don't know how to explain that.
That's a good way
to see a thing and say I can't have seen what I've just seen. I can't. What can't be happening? What I'm observing, what we're measuring, all the data showing this cannot be correct. I just reject it, just because I don't believe it can happen.
Right. Well, that's a good perspective on it. I think of all the arguments, that's the one that seems to have the most legs that I hear. Right. The cosmological argument is kind of dead, and the ontological argument is just a horrible mess. But the teleological, at least there's some discussion to be had there.